Hey, Reagan Ram here with OrpheusAudioAcademy.com, helping you make better music and grow your fan base online. And in this video, I am sharing with you 7 awesome free software synths for making synthwave music. Now, synthwave music, as you probably know, is inspired by the 80s, so we're looking at free software plugins that emulate the analog synthesizers that were around during the 80s. So I've kind of got some little song pieces I put together using just the sounds from these different plugins, and we're gonna take a listen to them and kind of go over these plugins. So first one is TAL-NoiseMaker. This is a really cool software synth that I've been using for a long time, and it has a lot of really cool sounds. Here is your interface. You've got your synth 1, your synth 2, and you've got your LFOs to modulate your sound. You've got your oscillators here, your master controls, and then you've got your filter and your ADSR. So pretty simple, pretty basic, but I kind of like that. It makes it harder to really mess up, and it keeps things really simple, and you can get the sound that you want quickly. And then here you've got your overall controls here, and also an envelope editor. So some really cool controls as well inside of this synth. So now let's listen to it in a song. I've just spent like 5 minutes on each of these, just throwing together some little song seed using different sounds from the particular software synth. So we got these TAL chords here, we got some TAL bass here, and then I've got some drums playing here from my favorite synthwave drum plugin, which is Beatmaker Vice. Now this is not free, but you can pick this up if you're interested by clicking my link in the description below. All right, let's play this. Alright, so that is it for TAL-NoiseMaker. Now this next one is not generally considered a synthwave plugin, but I found it has a lot of great synthwave sounds in it, and that is Zebralette by Yuhi. And this is what it looks like, and as you see, it also has a lot of great controls, especially this envelope feature where you can really create very interesting envelopes. I mostly just use the presets, but you can obviously tweak in the effects here really well, also some mod effects as well, and of course you got your basic mixer here and some global envelope and LFO controls as well. All right, now let's hear this in a actual little song piece. All right, that's Zebralette. Now moving on to Synth 1. This has been around for a long time. It's a pretty well known synth, by the way. I just recently, now you can actually change the color of your interface here if you want to. Just click on opt here, and then here are your color codes here, so you can put in whatever color you want for the panel and the text. So pretty cool. Anyway, you can basically create almost any kind of sound in here, and there's tons of free sound banks out there on the web as well that you can find. I just have 7 different sound banks in here, and I've loaded them up. Again, this is a really great basic synthesizer for learning synthesis. So you got your oscillators here, 1 and 2. You've got your amplifier, you've got your filter here. You've got your LFO, you've got an arpeggiator, you've got some effects over here, an EQ, as well as chorus and a flanger, some delay. Basically everything you need to create all kinds of awesome sounds. And also great for synthwave, because a lot of synthwave sounds, again, were based off of very basic analog synthesizers. All right, now let's listen to this in a song. All right, that is that. Now let's move on to the next one, which is OBXD, which is a synthesizer based on the Oberheim XD, which is a very well-known synthesizer that was used throughout the 80s. And this is a really awesome synthesizer here, as you have lots of controls. You got your oscillator here, really great filter and filter envelope, and then your modulation as well. So lots of good control here, but then also it has a ton of great presets. You can see all these amazing presets in here, so you can quickly get some of those well-known 80s and synthwave sounds pretty quickly. So let's take a listen to this, and this is also my plugin of choice for synthwave bass, as you'll hear here. All right, now let's listen to it in the song. All right, that's it for OBXD. As you can see, there's some really cool sounds you can get in there. Now let's move on to Dexed, which is a free synthesizer that's meant to emulate the Yamaha DX7. And there's all kinds of free presets you can also upload into this. I just have the basic presets in here right now, which aren't that many, but they are pretty cool to use. Now the interface is a little overwhelming. I actually don't find myself messing around with this too much. I kind of just use a few presets, and that's about it. And I've been meaning to load in some more of the actual presets from the Yamaha DX7 into here, but I haven't gotten around to that yet. But as you can see, with just the basic presets, you can still get some pretty interesting sounds. All right, now let's listen to it in the song. All right, that is it for the Dexed. Now, number 6, we have Fury 800, and this is based on the Korg Poly 800 synthesizer. And you'll hear this has a lot of really awesome presets as well. I find the interface a little bit harder to read, just because there's so many different parameters on here that aren't really being used. So, for example, a cutoff here, I mean, it says 0 to 99, which I guess shows the range that it goes to, but it just seems like there's some unnecessary data in here. But really, it's really just a slider, as you can see here, which vanishes until you move it. it's not really reading in the cutoff range what the actual cutoff is here. So not the best interface, but it does have some really good sounds, which you can hear now. All right, that was pretty cool. Now, the last synth here is Tyrell by He, another He plugin here, and you can see this is meant to be an analog synthesizer based on how beat up it looks. So you know it's supposed to be old, it's supposed to be analog, and so don't worry, that doesn't mean that you need to take the software back and exchange it for something new. This is how it's supposed to look. And so it has a lot of interesting sounds as well. And again, a pretty simple interface to use. You got your LFOs, you got your oscillators. Pretty simple mixer here too, which is interesting. And again, your filter and a lot of presets to choose from here from several different preset banks. And I'll take a listen to it here in the song. And speaking of free synthwave sounds, I also have a free sample pack of synthwave drums that you can download by clicking in the description below. This will give you a bunch of awesome samples that you can use in your synthwave productions. All right, let me know in the comments below which of these free software synthesizers look the most interesting to you. Otherwise, drop a like if you found this video helpful, and I'll see you in a future video. Bye.